Huskies. This is the producer of the podcast, Claire speaking, and welcome back to the second segment of our athletics episode. In this segment, we'll talk more with Ray, Finley, and Victoria about an exciting game for Victoria, how to balance your time as an athlete and a student. Plus, we'll give you the details on where to follow the GBC Huskies so that you can catch their games online or in person. And now, without further ado, here's our conversation. We were talking before a bit about how it must be hard to juggle practice, games, and your coursework. So I'm curious to send that question to you both now. How do you manage your time?
So personally, Victoria and I were both in the same program, the building renovation program. And I know for me, the baseball season is just in the fall, so September and October. And for me personally, that was my first year at George Brown. So it was really hard to get accustomed to the college course load and lifestyle, as well as playing baseball like 45 times a week. So a big thing that helped, I would usually, if there was like a big assignment and I didn't think I could submit it on the due date, I would email my teacher like a week in advance at least, just to let them know, hey, I'll be out of town this weekend in Windsor. I won't have my computer with me. I probably won't be able to get this in on time. Do you think I could have like a day extension? And I found that usually they would be really lenient and be like, yeah, of course, like don't worry about it. So that really helped me personally.
That's great. So the instructors are fairly flexible around if you communicate that to them, right?
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely say.
Yeah, I'd say our professors are super understanding when it comes to being a varsity athlete, especially because at the beginning of each semester, we have to contact them and basically send them our schedule of games and like just express to them, hey, I'm a varsity athlete. And so often if they review that right away and they're like, oh, we have an assignment due this day, like sometimes a couple months in advance, they give you an extension. But especially if you're like active in your classes and keeping up with work, teachers are super like willing to accommodate to our schedules. Mm-hmm. For me, at least, I don't find the time management too difficult to balance out. Mostly because I've been a student athlete for most of my life. So it's something that you kind of just grow with over time.
Yeah.
Although a college work course load is definitely heavier than high school. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just understanding and like blocking out, okay, I know this assignment's going to take me at least this long. So I need to set aside this much time before I need to leave for practice. And that was kind of how I did things, is I had made sure my work was done before I left for practice.
Oh, okay. Well, that's smart. Very proactive. And I can imagine that a sort of lifetime of being a student athlete helps in figuring that out as well. But for students who don't have that sort of like skill already, I know that George Brown has the TLC, Tutoring Learning Center, where they could get like some supports around that too. So that's great.
So shifting gears, Victoria, as a goalkeeper this past season, the outdoor season, you had a stellar performance on the field outside the net. Do you want to just briefly highlight how a goalkeeper could net 2 goals in a game? And almost, might I add, a minute apart, according to the stat sheet, which is quite impressive. So speak on that, please.
Yeah, we were winning a game 6-0. And they were like, okay, we want a few more goals. And it's pretty known that I have a pretty powerful kick. And my coaches wanted to take advantage of that and get me into the game a little more. So they put me up right striker, right on the top of the field. And yeah, it was almost exactly a minute apart. I scored 2 goals. And that was my first time playing out in almost 10 years. So it was a shock factor for me, but also everyone else around. It was definitely a memory, that's for sure.
So you weren't in your goal anymore?
No, they took me out. I played out for about the last 20 minutes of the game. So I was in that for majority of the game, and then they took me out. And yeah, my first 2 touches on the ball, I scored 2 goals.
Wow. Holy. Congratulations. That must have been a really exciting game.
It was. I honestly didn't know how to react to the whole thing happening. It was like an adrenaline rush that I've never felt. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's awesome. Yeah. Personally, I don't play sports that much, but I've been on a couple teams, and in the past, I know it can require a lot of communication and like pep talks. Do you think that being involved in athletics at the college has helped build your soft skills in some way? And this is a question for both of you.
Yeah, for sure. I'd definitely say so. And for the baseball team, it was the largest team I've ever played on. We had around 25 players. We're usually more used to like 15 to 16 players. So I'd definitely say getting to know everyone, since in college the age gap is a lot bigger than just say a year apart. So there's some people that are on the team who are like around like up to 28 years old. And personally that season I was 18 years old. So just getting to like know people older than me and like find things in common really built my soft skills for sure.
That's really interesting. It's different than like being on a university team, I can imagine, because
Yeah, for sure.
everyone's kind of the same age in university, but you get this experience at college where you can interact with people who have more like life social experience as well. And that must be really valuable.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like super interesting actually being on a college team for those reasons. The oldest player on my team is 34.
Oh.
So nearly double my age. And I
Wow.
was 17 when I started in September. So there's like the walk of life is totally different. We have actually a handful of international players. So people that have traveled and they've lived life in different countries. So that's super interesting to like get to know your team and like see what they've done and where they've been. And I think it brings like a level of like appreciation for your teammates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a deeper sort of respect maybe than someone who you're playing with who's like your same age, possibly.
For sure. And especially all of the varsity athletes are kind of like one big family, I would say. Like there's a lot of like mingling that happens and like, connections with other sports teams. So it's not only like your own team that you're getting to know on like a better level, but it's also like all of the teams in the college.
Oh, okay, cool.
And just to sort of amplify what Victoria said, the men's baseball team, despite their season ending at the end of the fall, they have been probably the team that comes out to all the home games to support men and women's basketball, men and women's volleyball. And I saw a couple of the athletes attend away games. So to amplify both Finn and Vic's point, athletics is a family. And being someone that, was a student before and had a sense of community and belonging, like it's super cool to see our athletes all intermingling and cohabitating and coexisting and learning from one another and growing not only as individuals, but as a team. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So Finn and Vic, what advice would you give to other GBC students who are either already involved in some form of athletics at George Brown or would like to be involved?
I would say if you're already in one, keep on going. It's a great way to build your social skills. And if you're looking to get into it, definitely do it. It's the best choice to make as a student. And yeah.
I would say, as Finn said, if you're already in it, it is a great way to build connection and feel a sense of community while at college, because a lot of students do feel disconnected through because they travel for school. It's a new experience for them. So it's a good way to find a group of people that have something in common with you. And that could be applied to people who are also thinking about it. If it's even a thought that you have, I would say at least come check it out, give it a try. There's always things happening in the gym throughout the entire day. And it's a good place to pass some time, burn off some energy. And I would say it's definitely worth looking into.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much for coming on to the podcast today. This has been really fun. We don't often have two people at once, so it's just having more people in the room is just really fun, the virtual room. Also, I know that there's social media accounts for everything. So where can students easily find information about games online?
We have an Instagram account.
At GBC Huskies is the main sort of varsity account. And then
There's a lot of Instagram accounts, and like each sport also has like
Their own account.
their own account. So like we have a women's soccer one, and it's like posts our games, our scores, sometimes just photos. There's one for like baseball, women's basketball, men's basketball. I'm assuming probably volleyball as well.
It gets really niche.
Yeah. So we have our like overall like George Brown Huskies, and then we have sports specific too. That's normally run by a player on the team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which allows the teams to sort of tell the story throughout their season, which is something sort of for students by students, which is something that we don't often see in sports. So with the separate accounts of each sport, it kind of pulls back the curtain and allows viewers a glimpse in at the life of a student athlete. But the two main accounts is at GBC Huskies on Instagram and at GBC Recreation. So the recreation is obviously intra and extramural, and the GBC Huskies is the varsity. So you can find us, and we tend to cross promote information on both accounts.
Okay, awesome. And people can go watch games on either intramural or varsity, right?
Yes. So we've recently hosted an extramural dodgeball tournament where we had hosted other colleges and universities at the Castlelum Athletic Center. All of our home games are being played out of the Castlelum Athletic Center's gymnasium. And again, all that information is both on our website, athletics.georgebrown.ca, and on Instagram at GBC Huskies.
Okay, perfect.
I'll just add on also for all the games, if you can't make it in person, there's usually, I'm not sure for all the varsity sports, we have links. I know for the baseball season we had where you can watch online. So just check out any of the team's accounts, and we usually post all the links for all the games.
To watch online, you just got to go to OCAA Live. And then there's a drop down that says live games, and then you click on demand, and it shows you all of the live games for the day. There's multiple schools, multiple different sports, and it gives you a whole list of the times that they're going to start.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome.
But if you really wanted to just focus on the George Brown Huskies, we also have the Huskies live stream that is available at athletics.georgebrown.ca.
Oh, perfect. Okay, well, thank you so much. And thanks, Ray, for helping me with this interview. I feel like I learned a lot, and I'm so much more excited about sports at George Brown. I didn't know any of this before. And you guys sound like you're having a great season. So I hope that streak continues, and go Huskies, go.
Thank you, Claire.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.